Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. I want to start by saying I'm sorry for having been gone for a little while. I will be talking about where I was and kind of what I was up to in next week's video, just because I want to make sure that I get my thoughts in order and all that right, and I kind of wanted to come back with something a little bit simpler. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Mint to Be palette by ColourPop. I know this isn't necessarily a new palette, but it's new to me, so I just thought that would be a good place to start. Now, I have played with this a little bit just to get used to the colors because I'm not usually one to wear the green, but here are the colors inside of the palette. And now I'm just going to go ahead and go through and swatch these for you all real quick. So we've got Getting Fresh, Mint Tea, Play It Cool, Seltzer, Mojito Miami, Demence, Iced Cold, Freshman, and Chill Factor. So here are those swatched for you. You can see all the different colors in there. And it is just the normal ColourPop formula, so if you're familiar with that, then this is, a good example of that. All right, and now I'm going to go ahead and see what look I can kind of come up with for this. All right, and as usual, I'm going to start off by priming my eyes. So I am just using the NYX eyeshadow base, and I have mine in white. So this is just the NYX #1 eyeshadow base. I've had this thing for a very long time, so long that it honestly very well may be expired, but I'm just a big fan of it and it works really well. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a thin layer of that on my eyes real quick. And I really like this base as opposed to just a plain like flesh colored primer because I do feel like it helps to brighten the colors. I also like that you can build it up. So if you leave it kind of sheer, then it doesn't brighten all that much, whereas if you put like a thick layer on it, you can really build, it'll do a lot of brightening essentially. So I'm not entirely sure how this is going to turn out, but it can be fun to kind of, get out of my comfort zone and play with some different colors. I also want to say a quick apology if the lighting does anything weird. It was sunny and cloudy, or it was sunny and clear when I started this, but we've got some real dark storm clouds moving in, so apologies for that. All right. So I think I might do two different eye looks, one on each eye, just to kind of show the variety in this palette, potentially. So I'm going to start with Iced Cold on the left eye here. And I'm going to take that and kind of pop that back in the crease like so, and then blend it out to about the halfway point or so, and then kind of blend it out towards the eyelash, or the eyebrow, I mean, as well. And just like this little flick, like that. Put a little bit more in the crease here, and then blending it back. And then I'm going to go in with Freshman as well on that eye, and I'm going to do that for the outer corner. And I'm just always checking that my brushes are clean but clean colors, because while I've started recollecting makeup, I still haven't gotten more brushes. So I have like 3 eyeshadow brushes right now. It's kind of a problem, honestly. I'm just going to do this color on most of the eyelid. And then for the inner corner, actually it's pretty bright. I don't necessarily know that I want to brighten it anymore. I think actually I'm going to rotate this into being a little bit of a halo and take some of that Iced Cold and bring it into the inner corner as well. I don't usually do halo eyes because I feel like they don't typically look the best on my eye shape. It's also possible that I'm just not the best at doing them. But honestly, I don't think that looks too bad in the green. And then on the other eye, I think we'll be doing a little bit of a lighter look. So for this one, I think I definitely want to use the mint tea, that really bright, vibrant green. So I think I'm going to start by taking the seltzer, the color seltzer, cleaning my brush again before I use it for another color, which is the more muted green here. I'm just going to take that along the inner corner here on this eye, bring that to about the halfway point or so. And I will say I am getting a decent bit of fallout on this with the mattes. I feel like I don't usually get that with ColourPop, so that is a little bit of a surprise on that one. But I did just want to mention that. And then I'm going to go in, like I said, with Mint Tea, which is that shimmery, real pretty light green for the center. And then finally for the inner corner, maybe I can get both of these in here. So then I'm going to go in with Playing It Cool. And I'm going to put that along the inner corner here. Get a little fuzzy. There we go. And then I'm going to take the Mojita Miami, and I'm just going to put the smallest amount of that on the very inner corner, and I'm going to go through, I'm going to wipe that just under the eyebrow. And that's kind of what I've come up with for this palette. So I'm going to go ahead and put on some mascara real quick and a lip product, and then just give you kind of mascara. I didn't put on any eyeliner today just because my hands are kind of bothering me. So I'm just going to go ahead and talk about kind of my final thoughts with this. So I want to start off by saying I don't typically wear a lot of greens, and this probably isn't something I would have just picked up if I'd just been on their website or in the store. I got this because I got a box of 3 random palettes for $15 when I saw them doing a deal like that. But I have to say, I quite like the colors. Now, I don't necessarily know that this is something I will reach for all the time, but particularly the mint tea shade here, I'm a big fan of. This look, the first eye that I did, where it's kind of the halo, I think is okay. That could just be that I'm not the biggest fan of halo eyes on myself, but I don't know that I would do this particular combination again. But the right one, where I did the gradient, I think turned out really well. It's a little patchy in one spot, but I know from playing with this before this review that is a issue with my hands today and not a general issue. And that's part of the reason that I don't really do first impressions. My hands are very inconsistent in what they will and will not do when it comes to makeup from day to day. I don't want to think I'm having a good day and then film a review and my physical state kind of color what it seems like I think of the product. All in all, I think if you're looking for like a simple, basic green eyeshadow palette, this is great. I love a lot of the shimmers in it. I do feel like I had a decent bit of fallout with the mattes, more than I feel like I usually get with a ColourPop palette, but that might just be because I need new brushes, and I have been playing with this one pretty exclusively for the past week or so. So again, that could just be my brushes. My brushes at this point are quite old. I really need to get around to doing new ones. As you can see, this one is missing part of it even, and they're definitely not as soft as they once were. So it's entirely possible that they're just kind of tearing up the shadows a little bit, but I feel like I did notice a decent bit of fallout with this that I don't feel like I've noticed with my other palettes. But that is, I think, about all I have to say with this one. I definitely see myself using it more. I don't think it's going to get used as much as my I Lilac You A Lot palette, but I could definitely see this being in regular rotation. And that's actually something I want to talk about at some point, is the way that I store my makeup so that it's consistently getting rotated. This definitely wouldn't be one that I'm necessarily... Actually, no, I could definitely see, depending on what I'm wearing, me grabbing this for like an evening going out. But if I'm like sitting down to do my makeup with intention, I don't necessarily see myself picking this one up, just because, again, I don't typically reach for greens. But it will definitely be in the regular rotation for my everyday, like, general makeup. And if you're interested in hearing how I rotate my palettes to make sure everything consistently gets used, to avoid things kind of getting forgotten or going bad, please let me know, because that's something I've kind of really developed over the years, and I think is a great way to avoid makeup from getting stale. And then tune in next week for me to talk a little bit about where I've been, why I've been gone for so long, and some other potential things that might be making appearances on this channel. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Please let me know if you use ColourPop. What is your favorite palette by them? As I said, mine is probably the I Lilac You a Lot palette, at least right now, but I look forward to playing with the other two from my mystery box. And if you've forgotten which ones those are, that's going to be the Mist Bliss and the Going Cocoa Nuts. So after next week's video, I will post a review of one of these, and then there will be another unrelated topic, and then another review after that of whichever the remaining palette is. So go ahead and comment which one you would rather see a review of below. We have Going Cocoa Nuts and we have Mist Bliss. So I look forward to hearing from you. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.